All right, check this out. 1 minute, our boy is just a regular single dad, a total corporate slave. The next, his daughter vanishes into thin air. You just know he's about to snap, right? But here's the kicker. They didn't just kidnap any kid. They messed with the daughter of a living legend, a former Black Ops agent known only as Number 66. This ain't a rescue mission. It's a boss hunt, and our boy is the final boss. And just like that, our boy goes full beast mode. He's not asking. He's commanding an entire special forces unit. Look at that aura. This isn't a request for help. It's a declaration of war. These goons don't stand a chance. This poor guy barely gets his line out before he's taken down. Seriously, being Manager Kim's enemy means you've got a life expectancy of about one panel. The polite Manager Kim is officially clocked out for the day. Say hello to Agent 66, the human killing machine. With a thunderous entrance, the cavalry arrives. The hunt is officially on. To find his daughter, he's pulling out all the stops and calling in old favors. Look at this, special access cards, secret assembly points. This is the kind of pull a top-tier agent has. He makes one call, and an entire team shows up. Meanwhile, the kidnappers are busy with their own dirty work, interrogating someone who clearly knows something. These guys look like they mean business, and the vibe in this interrogation room is seriously grim. And their methods are brutal. This guy goes from 0 to 100, slamming the table and terrifying girl. And of course, there's a boss watching from behind the one-way mirror. You just know this is part of some bigger, twisted scheme. They're pushing her to the breaking point. Look at her. She's absolutely terrified, tears welling up. They're trying to squeeze information out of her, and it seems to have something to do with our boy's past. Then we hear someone mention a normal dad, while looking at none other than Minji, our boy's daughter, tied to a table. Oh, these fools have no idea what kind of monster they've just provoked. So it turns out they're interrogating someone who knows about Manager Kim's past. They're trying to figure out what secrets this man, who's been playing the role of a corporate slave for over a decade, is hiding. This guy is clearly terrified, warning them that Manager Kim's influence reaches across the globe and that they are way out of their league. That blood-red background? Yeah, that's what we call foreshadowing a massacre. Why? Even this guy doesn't know the full story. All he knows is that for 19 years, our boy has been holding back, suppressing his true nature. But now, the beast is awake. That peaceful life he worked so hard to build, it's all gone now. And what he's been up to lately is no laughing matter. All the while, his precious daughter Minji is locked away, scared and alone. And of course, new players enter the game from the villain's side. This blonde woman looks confident and dangerous. Meanwhile, the man they're questioning looks like he's been through hell. He's definitely holding some key information. The call connects, and our boy delivers a chilling promise to the kidnappers. Don't you dare lay your hands on my daughter. You can feel the sheer, killing intent through the phone. It's the classic, I will find you, and I will kill you moment. The moment they even suggest his daughter might be dead, he completely snaps. Look at him, veins popping, face contorted in pure rage. This isn't just anger anymore. This is the roar of a demon unleashed. He's not waiting for clues anymore. He's making them. He breaks into an enemy vehicle, and what does he find? A confidential file from the Ministry of National Defense. The game just leveled up big time. But the kidnappers are playing a sick game. They're forcing Minji to watch her father's rampage on a monitor. This is pure psychological torture. These people are monsters. Our boy walks straight into the National Security Intelligence Headquarters, surrounded by armed officers. All it takes is a simple gesture to freeze everyone in their tracks. That's the definition of power. Once he's suited up, Manager Kim is basically the Grim Reaper. He just stands there, and these two guys are about to wet themselves. Meanwhile, poor Minji is forced to witness this transformation, and she's horrified. The enemy is watching his every move from a command center. They think they have him figured out, but they have no idea what a cornered father is capable of when his child's life is on the line. He's got a lead. Look at that cold, predatory gaze as he interrogates this woman. His patience has run out. Now it's all about getting answers by any means necessary. She tries to play it cool with a smug little grin. Big mistake. Our boy doesn't play games. He slams her down on the table instantly. Trying to outsmart him right now is a death wish. The sheer pressure has her shaking. But just then, a new player enters the scene. This guy in the suit looks cool, calm, and collected. He's definitely a major threat. A new boss has appeared. Even though he's clearly in immense pain, both physically and emotionally, he doesn't hesitate. He takes that decisive step forward. Whatever hell lies ahead, he's walking straight into it. He pushes through the pain, moving down the dark corridor. And then, he sees her. A glimpse of Minji through the glass. That one look is all it takes to turn his determination into pure, unadulterated killing intent. Instantly, all hell breaks loose. Alarms blare, a full-blown brawl erupts. It's absolute chaos. But our boy doesn't care. He has only one objective: get his daughter back. And just when you think things can't get crazier, a mysterious fighter drops in from the ceiling, crashing the party. This sudden arrival shocks everyone. Is he friend or foe? The newcomer is wearing a taekwondo uniform, and his presence is suffocating. You can tell from his cold eyes that he's an absolute beast. The woman is so scared she can barely breathe. Oh, that smirk? That's the smile of a man who knows he's the baddest dude in the room and is about to prove it. He's not just here to fight, he's here to take over. Surprise! The taekwondo master is our boy, Manager Kim. After a quick change of clothes, he grabs the woman and makes a break for it. It's time to sprint out of this hellhole. But it looks like she's not cooperating. Our boy doesn't have time for this, so he just grabs her face and drags her along. No time for pleasantries when you're in the middle of an escape. They take cover, only to spot soldiers moving a mysterious large crate. Manager Kim's eyes narrow. He knows that box could hold a crucial clue to finding his daughter. Just their luck. A squad of heavily armed special ops soldiers is heading straight for them. The tension just shot through the roof. Look at their gear. These guys are the real deal. Elite? So what? Against absolute power, numbers mean nothing. Our boy takes the initiative, landing a punch so fast you can barely see it. The poor guy's face is completely rearranged. He's an unstoppable force of nature. In a blur of motion, another enemy is sent flying with a devastating sidekick. This isn't a fight. It's a one-man highlight reel. The enemy finally gets a chance to fight back, opening fire. Bullets are flying everywhere. This is getting intense, but it only fuels our boy's rampage. He unleashes a flawless kicking combo. Fast, precise, and brutal. The enemy completely collapses. This is a masterclass in combat, a total domination. Look at that cold glare, that fist crackling with power. He's about to shatter everything and everyone standing in his way. Cutting back to the interrogation room, this guy is having a complete breakdown, screaming about his loyalty. The only thing I've done is work for my country. It seems he feels betrayed. But the villain hits him where it hurts, threatening his family. Just wait and see. Those words ignite a firestorm of rage. That single you is filled with so much hatred and killing intent. Meanwhile, our boy is facing his own tough opponent. A firefight breaks out, and he takes a bullet to the hand. But look at him, he doesn't even flinch. A wound like that is just a scratch to him. Through the enemy's chatter, we learn more about his past. His files are top secret. He was constantly on missions to North Korea. He's a true living legend in the Black Ops world. And now, that same living legend is standing alone against an entire squad of elite soldiers. This isn't a fight. It's a one-man army against a platoon. An army is closing in, he's sprinting with his daughter in tow, and yet, he's smiling. For him, this must feel like another day at the office. As long as his daughter is safe, he fears nothing. But the danger is relentless. A dagger slices through the darkness. The enemy isn't letting them escape that easily. Instantly, he's surrounded by two assassins. He has to fend off their lethal attacks, while simultaneously protecting his daughter. The situation is critical. His glasses are cracked, his face is bleeding, but his eyes are colder than ice. The enemy taunts him, "They told me you were a legend, so I looked forward to this." Bad move. You just pissed off the Grim Reaper. The enemy command post gets the report. "We found a trespasser, a man in a taekwondo uniform and a girl." The entire facility immediately goes on high alert. They're cornered in a dead end on the third floor. With enemies in front and reinforcements behind, there's no way out. Guns everywhere. It's a completely hopeless situation. Even our boy looks exhausted, but his eyes are still sharp. He's searching for that one-in-a-million chance to turn this around. The main villain is loving every second of this, savoring the moment. You can see the pressure getting to our boy. He's sweating bullets. Can he really pull off a miracle here? He looks up, and, yep, dozens more enemies waiting on the levels above. That scar on his face tells you he's seen worse. They land a heavy blow, but look at his face. Not a trace of fear. This man is built different. The battle descends into pure chaos. Someone's got a knife to their throat. Minji is being held hostage and screaming. It's an absolute bloodbath. The enemies are playing dirty, using human shields. But even with multiple blades at his neck, our boy is smirking. He's definitely got something planned. But in the next second, they cross the line. They put the blades to Minji's throat. And the villain's sadistic smile, it makes you want to jump through the screen and wipe it off his face. Look at the absolute terror in her eyes, the tears streaming down her face as that cold steel presses against her skin. This is the ultimate torture for a father. And at this moment, whatever restraint Manager Kim had left has just snapped. But right at that critical moment, a whole new faction arrives, led by a man with sunglasses and a cane, backed by his own squad of soldiers. Who the hell are these guys? Ignoring the newcomers, our boy is lost in a red haze of fury. He's taking down enemies with his bare hands, using the most brutal methods imaginable. That wire cutting into his neck? It's like a mark of the berserker. The only image left in his mind is his daughter with a blade to her throat. It shatters his sanity. A father's love has just transformed into the purest instinct for destruction. To get to his daughter, he becomes a ghost, navigating a web of laser security grids like they're not even there. His skills are inhuman, and that sinister smile, wrapped around his fist, is his signature weapon, C4 wire. The legendary Manager Kim is back, and he's about to put on a show. Our boy, burning with rage, marches forward. But he's not alone this time. Two other top-tier fighters have his back. The Dadvengers have assembled. This fool screams, "Bastard," and actually tries to fight back. He gets effortlessly neutralized from behind. He's like a chicken trying to fight a tiger. The SWAT teams, the hostage situation, it's all triggering his past trauma. And he just explodes. That face, twisted by pure rage, is the last thing his enemies will ever see. He needs information, and he'll get it by any means necessary. Look at that cold expression and his clenched fist. He's not asking nicely anymore. His killing intent is so powerful that even the heavily armed soldiers are terrified of him. Against a force like that, their guns offer no comfort at all. Another one of our guys snaps, screaming at the enemy. Didn't they teach you that soldiers never put their weapons down? His roar of despair is filled with grief and fury. Even our boy is shaking with rage, leaving him open to a sneak attack from behind. In that moment of pure agony and terror, he lets out a soul-shattering scream. But the villain just keeps taunting him, completely unaware that he's dancing on the edge of a volcano. Look at the absolute despair on the hostage's face. Our boy reveals his claw-like weapon and makes an announcement. We'll leave through the main entrance. No more sneaking around. He's decided to fight his way out. He realizes that sneaking out with Minji is too risky. That leaves only one option, a frontal assault. That means we have to go through them. But he knows they need more firepower. We need one more person to help us out. Anyone he calls for backup has got to be an absolute monster. While they wait for the cavalry, they're not just sitting around. Time to clear out some fodder. One moment the enemy is standing, the next he's on the floor. And the backup has arrived. Their entrance? A massive explosion, of course. That's the signal that the main event is about to begin. And this new guy is a powerhouse. He sends a fully armored soldier flying with a single punch. Look at the shock on the other soldiers' faces. They can't believe what they're seeing. The team is finally assembled. Our boy, the Taekwondo master, and the mysterious backup. Standing side by side, they're ready to wreck the place. One more person? Who? Even Minji is curious. Who could this person be? Meanwhile, our boy just stands in the rain, waiting patiently for his arrival. I've contacted him already. The war hero. That's right. They didn't just call for backup. They called a national damn war hero. The hype is unreal. And here he is, the war hero, rocking an "I love my daughter" t-shirt while casually carrying a heavy machine gun. The contrast is legendary. It's another super dad ready to go to war for his kid. The fight resumes, and our boy and his daughter are surrounded once again. But this time, he's not fighting alone. Manager Kim literally punches his way through a wall, creating an escape route for his team. Steel-reinforced concrete, more like cardboard when he gets serious. Covered in blood, our boy gives the final order to attack. He aims his gun at the hostages and the soldiers alike, his eyes completely devoid of mercy. He casually grabs a helmet and lobs it like a grenade, causing a massive explosion. On the battlefield, everything is a weapon in his hands. Faced with his godlike power, even the elite soldiers are sweating bullets. They're not fighting a man. They're fighting a father who has become a demon for the sake of his daughter. His past trauma and the present crisis collide, causing him to have a complete breakdown. He screams, tears streaming down his face, channeling all his grief and rage into pure, destructive power. Meanwhile, our war hero buddy is having the time of his life, smiling while being surrounded by an army, as if to say, all I am surrounded by is fear and dead men. Our boy executes an enemy without a single change in his expression. The gunshot echoes and then silence. But the look in his eyes tells you this is far from over. He carves a path of destruction, but the enemy leader is still standing, gun in hand, face contorted with rage. The final showdown is about to begin. He emerges from the rubble, his gaze locked and loaded. He's going to end this himself. The trio of legends finally stands together. Manager Kim, the war hero, and the Taekwondo master. This is officially the most overpowered team-up ever. The guys on the other side should probably start writing their wills. With the trio working together, it's not a fight, it's a slaughter. Their coordination is flawless, and enemies are dropping like flies. The battle is over. The villain screams in despair, while Minji is left speechless by the carnage. She has just witnessed the monster her father truly is. He stands coldly amidst the bodies. In this moment, he is the god of the battlefield. The final stare down. Our boy's fists are clenched, his eyes burning with a cold fire. And Minji, she's terrified of the man her father has become. This is Manager Kim, a man who will burn the entire world down for his daughter. But it's not over yet. Our boy now faces the final boss and his remaining army. A new storm is brewing. The trio of dads makes their grand entrance, walking out of the wreckage over the bodies of their enemies. The intimidation factor is off the charts. It's the calm before the storm. Both sides are sizing each other up, looking for that one opening to strike. Meanwhile, an enemy soldier is making a secret call in the bathroom. Look how nervous he is. Could this be a traitor in their ranks? When he steps out and sees the hallway littered with his fallen comrades, he's scared stiff. He finally understands they're not dealing with a man. They're dealing with a monster. The surviving commander looks down at his fallen soldier, his face a mix of grief and rage. As he touches the blood on his own face, his expression turns cold as ice. Cutting away, our war hero friend is at the wheel, grinning like a madman. This guy feels absolutely no fear. In fact, I think he's enjoying this a little too much. He floors it, bursting out of the tunnel at full speed. This wild ride is just getting started. Faced with an enemy blockade, does the war hero slow down? Nope. He laughs and rams right into them. This dude is an absolute maniac. During the violent crash, what's the first thing Manager Kim does? He shields his daughter with his own body. No matter the chaos, her safety is always his top priority. They just drove straight through the building wall, triggering a breach alarm. Subtle is not in their vocabulary. The enemy commander is losing his mind, screaming for his men to open fire. Bullets rain down on their vehicle like a hailstorm. The windows shatter instantly, sparks flying everywhere. The firefight is getting seriously intense. And yet, through all this, the driver is still laughing his head off. Minji is terrified, and our boy is as calm as ever. This car is carrying a truly wild crew. In the middle of a hail of bullets, he calmly reloads his weapon with practiced efficiency. That, right there, is the mark of a true professional. Amid the gunfire, his ally drops a bombshell on Minji. Your father was a spy. The revelation leaves her completely stunned. And a freaking notorious one, too. That's right. Her dad wasn't just any spy. He was a legend, the kind that enemies have nightmares about. Minji's mind flashes back to a warm memory. Her dad in an apron, cooking dinner for her. Can that gentle father really be the same person as this killing machine? But reality is harsh. To protect his daughter, Manager Kim must become a demon, eliminating every threat without mercy. This is the burden he chose to bear. The war hero keeps his foot on the gas as new enemies appear on the horizon. This chase is far from over. They've finally reached the enemy's main base, a heavily fortified facility in the stormy mountains. The real battle is about to begin. Staring down this iron fortress, the war hero cracks a grin. To him, this isn't a crisis. It's the world's most exciting playground. At that moment, Minji recalls her kidnapping. A mysterious man's hand gently touching her face. The memory of that cold touch still terrifies her. The man held her tightly from behind, his face twisted into a menacing expression. That feeling of being powerless, enveloped by darkness, is a nightmare she'll never forget. Back in the present, Minji is crying her eyes out in the car, while the war hero next to her is still laughing like a maniac with a machine gun. This rescue mission is its own special kind of trauma. The mastermind watches everything unfold on his monitors, a twisted smile on his face. It becomes clear that this was all just a game he orchestrated. Our boy is driving with one hand and choking out a bad guy with the other. The multitasking is insane. Just another basic skill for a legendary agent. They find themselves boxed in by massive trucks on a highway. It's a perfectly executed trap. They drove right into it. The truck doors slammed shut, trapping them inside, car and all. There's no escape now. At the same time, a group of mysterious men in black suits begins to make their move. Judging by their professional demeanor, this could be Manager Kim's old agency. They're getting involved. The man in charge gets a call, and his expression is grim. It's clear that Manager Kim's rampage has now reached the highest levels of power. Inside the truck, Minji screams as they're violently thrown around. And waiting for them outside the doors are the cold faces of the enemy. Even in this desperate situation, the war hero has to show off, pulling off a perfect drift. He's determined to look cool, even if it's his last moment. The dad squad gets on the line to coordinate their next move. And on the war hero's face, we see that familiar smile. The look of a man who absolutely craves battle. Look at that absolutely unhinged laughter. In a way, this war hero is even more terrifying than Manager Kim. Our boy fights because he has to. This guy fights because he loves it. And finally, a top secret file is revealed. It details his mission codenames, guerrilla operations, and the most terrifying part, a kill/death ratio so high it's classified under his name alone. He's not just a soldier. He's a walking, breathing act of war. And so, a new chapter begins, flashing back to the stone-cold operator he used to be, versus the absolute emotional wreck he is now. The contrast between the detached killer and the desperate father is just heartbreaking. Look at that absolutely unhinged laughter. The leash is off, and our doting dad has gone full-on road warrior. The caption "kids have fun these days" is just the darkest, most ironic punchline. This is insane. He's literally turning the entire city into his personal demolition derby. Amid the screams of pedestrians and the screech of tires, this beast of a truck tears through the rainy streets, heralding the start of absolute chaos. Target acquired. A van packed with suits, just waiting to become roadkill. And look at that grin. Our boy isn't just seeking revenge. He's having the time of his life. He is serving up payback, and it's a dish best served with a side of vehicular manslaughter. The chase continues into a tunnel, but these goons have no idea who they're messing with. Manager Kim isn't just a driver. He's a guerrilla warfare expert, turning this enclosed space into their personal tomb. But in a shocking turn of events, their own vehicle gets hijacked. Look at him, shielding the woman next to him without a second thought. Even in pure chaos, that protector instinct is running on autopilot. Trapped in an enclosed space, surrounded by masked goons. Our boy knows exactly what this means. They're cornered. This can only mean one thing. They're going for the kill. And of course, they're not playing fair. They start flooding the vehicle with gas. But they're dealing with an ex-special agent. You think a little smoke is going to stop him? Please. You're just making him angry. The mission is on. A quick adjustment of his glasses, and the look in his eyes turns deadly. Without hesitation, he strikes. This is pure, cold efficiency. With gas masks on, he and his partner move like ghosts through the smoke. Their enemies can't see them, but they can definitely feel death approaching. The scene erupts into total chaos. Gunshots, shattered glass, and a high-speed convoy tearing down the rain-slicked highway. The entire world has become a frantic battlefield. They seriously thought they could subdue him with gas? Big mistake. Look at the pure panic and rage on his face. All they've done is light the fuse on a bomb. While the others are knocked out cold by the gas, the massed assault team is ready for action. The chemical agent is getting more potent, and so is their murderous intent. And so begins the next phase, titled What Matters Most. The roaring tiger, the battlefield explosion, and a firm handshake. It's all here. The beast is unleashed, and a new alliance is forged in fire. Meanwhile, we get a glimpse of another absolute beast. This guy's been stabbed, and he's just pulling the blade out himself. Look at the pure, unadulterated rage on his face. He's a certified madman. Even with a blade to his throat, he's not backing down. While our boy fights for his daughter, this guy seems to fight just for the hell of it. Look at that death glare. He has zero fear. He's completely outnumbered, surrounded by goons on all sides. But look at that stance, the clenched fist, the coiled muscles. He's not looking for an escape. He's ready to take every single one of them down. But even a monster can be overwhelmed. The pain is unimaginable as he's finally brought down. He's being broken, body and soul, and it is brutal to watch. And just like that, he's captured, being transferred like a piece of cargo. But you can see it in the eyes of his captors. They know this is no ordinary package. They know how dangerous he is. This is a man pushed to his absolute limit. The look on his face says it all. He's ready to bring this whole thing to an end, right now, once and for all. No more games. The aftermath. A room full of bodies, and our blonde warrior stands over them, covered in their blood. This wasn't a fight. It was absolute carnage. But even monsters have moments of weakness. We see his pain, his regret. Right before he's captured by the real villains of the story, the ones pulling all the strings. Back with our boy, Manager Kim, as he finally confronts the man with that creepy smile. And look at him, proudly wearing that "I love my daughter" t-shirt. That's not just a shirt. It's his armor and his reason for fighting. No more Mr. Nice Manager. He is dropping bodies left and right. These martial arts experts thought they stood chance? Not against a living weapon. He's not even breaking a sweat. He moves like a blur, an absolute whirlwind of fists and feet. His opponents don't even see the hits coming before they're on the floor. This is a completely different level of fighting. One punch. That's all it takes to create that much impact. Look at the cold, emotionless expression on our boy's face. He's in full-on termination mode. No feelings, just a mission. A brutal tackle sends his opponent flying straight through a glass pane. This isn't a fight anymore. It's a pure display of overwhelming force. The guy's like a rag doll in his hands. He draws his blade and cuts through them in one fluid motion. Every move is lightning fast and surgically precise. Against a crowd of enemies, he's like a wolf among sheep, starting a one-sided slaughter. In a confined space, he's even more unstoppable. A thrown knife, a bone-shattering punch. Any resistance these guys try to put up is completely futile. All his pent-up rage is channeled into one devastating flying kick. The opponent doesn't even have time to react before he's obliterated by a blow carrying the full weight of a father's fury, silently moving in from behind for a clean, fatal slash. Manager Kim is putting on a masterclass in assassination techniques. He's not fighting. He's efficiently neutralizing targets. Fist to the face, a dagger to the forehead, a bone-crushing stomp. Every action screams absolute dominance and control. His opponent doesn't even get a chance to beg for mercy. A rainy night, the back of a truck, a perfect cage match. The contrast between Manager Kim's cold, determined eyes and his opponent's terrified face tells you everything. This fight was over before it even began. He's down, surrounded by fallen enemies, still wearing that My Daughter t-shirt. But then, you see the fire ignite in his eyes again. This isn't the end. It's the beginning of something even more terrifying. A stomp on the hand, then a stomp on the philtrum. He's torturing this guy in the most direct and humiliating way possible. The polite company manager is long gone, replaced by a cold-blooded interrogation specialist. Right at his vital point, not a single inch off. While someone on the phone expresses condolences, our boy is delivering anything but. The juxtaposition is chilling, highlighting the cold brutality of his quest. He puts on a military cap, picks up a gun, and transforms back into the ghost of the battlefield. Facing down armed kidnappers and terrified hostages, there's not a trace of fear in his eyes, only absolute, ice-cold confidence. On one hand, he's the ruthless killer smashing through glass without a thought. On the other, he's the tormented father, closing his eyes against the pain. This stark contrast shows his inner turmoil and the grim resolve to become a monster for his daughter. That stomp is pure power and domination. The killing intent in Manager Kim's eyes is practically pouring off the page. In the back of his truck, on this rainy night, he is the judge, jury, and executioner. From screaming in the rain to a calm, collected professional, the beast within is awakening. And that spectral image of him with the creepy smile, that might just be the real man underneath. A devastating blow that literally knocks the guy in next week. And that cold, almost contemptuous smirk on our boy's face, he's not just breaking his opponent's body, he's shattering his will. From suppressed rage to a wicked grin to this look of burning confidence, Manager Kim is now in complete control. That bandolier isn't a reminder of a past life. It's a statement of intent. While his partner is passed out from exhaustion, our boy is just laughing his head off in the driver's seat. This man's stamina and sanity are clearly not on a normal human scale. One minute he's snoring at the wheel, the next he's suited up, looking sharp and leading his crew. That seamless switch is the mark of a true top-tier agent. And his backup? They don't look like they're here to play nice either. The pure killing intent in Manager Kim's eyes clashes with the manic, fear-laced grin of his opponent. This is a showdown between controlled fury and unhinged chaos, and it's about to pop off. From the joyful smile of a father holding his child to the snarling face of a killer throwing a punch. The art brutally reminds us it's because he once held the brightest light that he can now become the deepest darkness. Wham! Bam! Pow! A relentless barrage of blows, absolutely no mercy. He's unleashing all of his pain and rage on this man. The word daughter on that t-shirt has never looked heavier. High-speed movement, heavy punches, and a brutal stomp. His fighting style is pure, primal violence. The man in the mask and glasses moves like a killing machine, executing its programming. This single punch contains all of a father's power and fury. The love on his shirt has become the ultimate irony. For the sake of love, he will unleash an all-consuming hate. He closes his eyes, gathering all his strength, and then unleashes it in one explosive moment. The very ground cracks under the force. His opponent is completely helpless, able to do nothing but endure this devastating blow. The fight reaches a fever pitch, the entire room echoing with sounds of crash, boom, and slam. And through it all, Manager Kim maintains that ice-cold expression, as if this is all just a warm-up. The clenched fist, the determined eyes, and the smiling face of his daughter on his shirt. These three things are his entire reason for being here. That low murmur is a declaration of war to his enemies, and a solemn vow to himself. Our boy, rocking his Love My Daughter battle armor and radiating pure killing intent. Meanwhile, the guy he's facing is coughing up blood. Yeah, I think we know who's winning this one. It's like he's a superhuman. That's the honest-to-God fear talking. And the source of that terror? A father walking towards him with a steady pace and ice in his veins. The pressure is immense. From a shivering hand to a gaze filled with malice. Facing off against this scarred brute, Manager Kim can no longer contain his rage. A head-on collision is inevitable. This is gonna hurt a little. Our boy says the most terrifying thing in the calmest voice. The white gleam in his eyes and the look of pure terror on his opponent's face signals the beginning of a very painful interrogation. The bulging veins, the blood dripping from his nose, the savage look in his eyes. With a bloody title card Manager Kim splashed across the screen, it's official. He's not just a man anymore. He is vengeance incarnate. A new episode kicks off, bringing back that classic line. This is going to hurt a little. He's using the gentlest tone for the most brutal of interrogations. The mix of fatherly love and extreme violence is just terrifying. We see the agony and rage on Manager Kim's face, and then the panel cuts to a scarred hand pressing down on a young girl's head. The implication is clear, and it's a direct attack on the one thing our boy holds sacred. He gently touches the image of his daughter on his shirt, his eyes filled with a sad resolve. The bloody title card appears again, announcing that Manager Kim mode is fully activated. From here on out, it's do or die. A rainy night, a luxury car, and a man in a suit looking like $1 million and 100 threats. The vibe is immaculate. Our boy has fully switched back to his top-tier agent persona, shark gaze and all. From the unbridled rage at the steering wheel to this calm, almost smiling resolve. He's telling himself not to be swayed by little things. The monster who will destroy anything for his daughter has truly awakened. No more talk, it's time for action. He answers all the scheming and provocations with his fists. The fury in his eyes is so intense, it's practically burning through the panel. Whether he's blocking or attacking, every single move is packed with power. He throws a punch and sends the guy flying, blood splattering everywhere. This is the full, unfiltered power of Manager Kim. Even against a tough opponent, he gets hurt, he grits his teeth. But that pain just makes him more terrifying. He gets knocked down, but you know he's just going to get back up with even more killing intent. A fatal blow from above. That white gleam in Manager Kim's eyes is like staring into the face of the Reaper. This punch is going to do some serious, irreversible damage. A high-speed slide, dodging and closing the distance in one move. That's pure special ops instinct. And look at our boy, crouched and ready. His eyes are ice cold, like a panther about to pounce. The masked killer, the enraged manager in a suit, and soldiers facing off on the battlefield. 3 different scenes, all pointing to the same thing. Violence that's about to erupt at any second. The word mercy is not in Manager Kim's vocabulary right now. Punch after punch, he completely dismantles his opponents. The more bodies that drop, the more intense the look in his eyes gets. Whether he's coughing up blood while being overpowered or staring down the barrel of a gun, Manager Kim only knows one way: forward. He's proving that anyone who stands in a father's way will pay a heavy price. Standing in that futuristic scanning light, he looks like a freaking Terminator. His opponent has completely given up, just lying there in defeat. The intimidation factor is off the charts. From the red glint in his eyes, to the tightly clenched fist, to the bloodstains on his suit. Every single detail is screaming one thing. This man is on a bloody rampage. In the rain, one man walks forward filled with righteous fury, while another hides behind a pillar, trembling in fear. The power dynamic is crystal clear. When a father is pushed too far, he becomes a walking catastrophe. On one side, a father consumed by rage and pain. On the other, an opponent with a smug, provocative smile. A psychological battle unfolds in the downpour, and the tension is electrifying. Black suits, black umbrellas, a procession of death. Manager Kim leads the way, a murderous look in his eyes. Even his own men seem unnerved by his current state. He's about to start a war. On a wooden bridge in the rain, two men. One holds an umbrella, the other lets the rain drench him. One is calm, the other is in agony. This fateful confrontation signals a clash that cannot be avoided. I am Manager CEO from Young Construction. And what is your name, sir? The man introduces himself politely in the rain, but his gaze is as sharp as a knife, radiating pure danger. Planning office, the third BR. Before he can even finish, a massive impact obliterates everything. It seems diplomacy has failed. Time to let the fists do the talking. That absolutely savage look on Manager Kim's face says he's ready to tear someone limb from limb. He watches the fight unfold with cold eyes, while others are terrified by his mere presence. That's the aura of a king. From gritting his teeth in pain to his eyes turning blood red with fury. His inner rage has become a literal red mist. The bloody title card returns to remind everyone what the name Manager Kim really means: death. His men are taken out with ease, leaving the onlookers completely stunned. And Manager Kim, the eye of the storm, just watches it all unfold with those burning, furious eyes. Pow! A single heavy punch is enough to knock the guy flat. Manager Kim doesn't even bother with weapons. He's venting his fury with pure, unadulterated violence. This punch carries the wind, the thunder, and the full-throttle rage of a father. His opponent's face literally caves in from the impact. You can feel the sheer force of that hit through the screen. He grabs a man's head and slams it into the bridge with enough force to create a shockwave. One look at that murderous face, and you know for a fact, he's done holding back. From anger to agony, and finally to a cold resolve set against a blood-red background. His emotions are escalating, coalescing into pure, killing intent. For his daughter, this man is willing to walk through hell itself. He's smiling. In the rain, through the pain, a twisted and resolute smile. This is somehow more terrifying than his enraged screaming. And his opponent is completely frozen by this display. Parents are willing to sacrifice anything for their child. From a war memory to a threatening confrontation in the rain. The story uses this stark contrast to show the heavy meaning behind that sacrifice. His eyes are fierce, his expression resolute. Standing over his fallen enemy in the endless rain, he looks like a vengeful god returned from the underworld. Every step he takes is on the bones of his foes. In response to his opponent's taunts, Manager Kim gives him the finger. The blood and tears on his face are mixed, but his expression is pure defiance and rage. It's a silent declaration of war. A body floating in the water, two men staring each other down in the rain, and a chilling smile on a man with a bleeding chest. These three panels perfectly blend death, confrontation, and madness into a suffocating atmosphere. From extreme rage to calm composure in a suit, to closing his eyes and accepting his path. His soul is weathering a hurricane, and that storm is about to be unleashed on his enemies. He stands alone, facing a crowd of indifferent onlookers and hostile enemies. But his presence alone is enough to dominate the entire scene. What were you like then? That question is about to be answered in blood. I'm sorry. I ask for your forgiveness. As one man kneels, the crowd around them reacts with a mix of anger, fear, and indifference. Manager Kim has made it clear, in his own way, exactly who is in charge here. Apologize? You think that's enough after what you've done to my child? Manager Kim's roar is a death sentence to the perpetrators. And that cold smirk on his face? It promises that what comes next will be merciless. One man is on his knees, broken and weeping, while the other offers fake sympathy. The power imbalance and emotional manipulation are infuriating to watch. Did you get the photo? Did you get good? While everyone else is screaming in terror, Manager Kim is calmly confirming his evidence. That level of composure in the face of chaos is what makes him truly terrifying. Let's keep it for a while. Use the photo when we're in need of good publicity. It seems our boy isn't just fighting with his fists, he's weaponizing information. The look in his eyes promises an all-out war on every front. Please, what was it that you wanted me to do? Under Manager Kim's cold, silent stare, this man has completely broken down. His terror is a testament to the sheer pressure our boy can exert without saying a word. It's a sin to be incompetent in this country. This woman spouts the most venomous, classist garbage, mocking a poor father. With that condescending smirk, she's just painted a giant target on her back. He isn't raising her. It's an act of abuse. He bred a child instead of raising her. With those words, she has officially angered every single reader and sealed her own miserable fate. The standoff in the rain, the face streaked with tears and rainwater, and the image of his daughter suffering in a bed. Three panels that weave together a father's rage, his anguish, and his child's peril into a truly heartbreaking scene. Inside the car, his daughter's sorrowful tears. Outside, the father's cold gaze and the bandolier over his shoulder. He saves his warmth and love for her and brings nothing but cold death to his enemies. Nothing is more miserable than being a penniless. He doesn't finish the sentence, but his eyes and his outstretched hands say it all. He's going to take back everything his way. From his agonized expression to his clenched fist, all leading back to the image of his daughter suffering. His rage, his resolve, it all stems from this deep, powerful love. For her, he would burn the world down. Please take good care of Minji. I have a favor to ask you for the last time. In this heartbreaking flashback, we see his most vulnerable side as a father. This final request becomes the catalyst for everything that follows. From struggling with his pain to a firm resolve accompanied by a cold smile. It looks like he's made a decision. That hand reaching out in the rain, it could be an invitation or it could be a death sentence. He grabs the man's collar, his face a mask of anguish as he demands answers. The tightly clenched fist, veins bulging. It's an explosion of both emotion and physical power. From screaming at the sky in despair to the cold, hard gaze as he gives the order to remove. The transformation from victim to predator is complete. Now, he's going to eliminate every obstacle himself. I offered you a chance, and that offer is followed by a merciless punch to the face. Pro tip, don't try to reason with a furious father. His logic is delivered via his knuckles. Even in the middle of a chaotic fight, he holds his daughter tight. He can get hit, he can get hurt, but the precious treasure in his arms cannot be harmed. That is a true father. Under the city lights on a rainy night, he lifts his opponent by the collar like he weighs nothing. The sheer power and intimidation in this one move fills the other man's eyes with pure terror. He pokes the man's forehead, roaring in his face. This isn't just a physical assault. It's psychological warfare. He's aiming to completely shatter this man's will. You better prepare yourself for what comes next. Surrounded by countless watching eyes, he holds his companion's hand and delivers this badass declaration. The absolute power move. That you're now messing with the wrong person? That question is punctuated by a punch born of pain and fury. The tear tracks and the blood on his lips tell the whole story of his resolve. Though he got off on the wrong foot. That line, combined with his savage expression and the chaotic background, is some prime dark humor. For his enemies, it wasn't just the wrong foot, it was a one-way ticket to hell. I have a favor to ask you for the last time. Those sad, desperate words echo in the memory of him holding his crying baby. It is because of his promise that he becomes so powerful and so ruthless. Forget everything and live for the child. Those words from the past have become his only creed in the present. For his daughter, he can forget himself, forget his humanity, forget everything. The fight continues on the rainy docks. From the brutal exchange of blows to the complex, knowing look shared between two fathers, this whole ordeal is clearly far from over. From twisting in agony, to clenching his fists with restraint, to the final shot of his eyes burning with pure rage. He's made up his mind. He's going to end this himself. The fire of vengeance has been lit. You punch and I'll punch. Until one of us dies. Backed by the blood-splattered title, this is Manager Kim's most direct and insane declaration of war. He's ready to put his own life on the line. Meanwhile, elsewhere, a blonde woman watches nervously as things unfold. Her bodyguards seem to be running into some trouble, with communications suddenly cut. The atmosphere just got a whole lot creepier. Things have gone terribly wrong here. With that panic cry, everyone starts scrambling for the exit. But that savage look on the redhead's face suggests the real danger has only just arrived. Back on the docks, Manager Kim is still in the thick of it. A beautiful high kick lands perfectly on target. It's elegant, deadly, and a textbook example of violent artistry. With sound effects like that, the guy's got to have a few broken bones. But that wild, vicious look on his face says he's far from finished. He shoves the guy's head underwater, then sends him flying with a kick. The whole sequence is fluid, humiliating, and utterly dominant. This isn't a fight. It's a one-sided beatdown. His opponent is on the ground, coughing up blood in agony, and our boy just stands there, his eyes burning with rage. That clenched fist looks like it's ready for another round. From collapsing in pain, to rising with tears in his eyes, to that final shot of unyielding light in his gaze. He has transformed in the rain, from a passive victim into an avenger on the offensive. He struggles back to his feet, his eyes a mixture of killing intent and pure agony. This is the kind of man who could get knocked down 1,000 times and would still get up for the 1,001st, ready to tear his enemy apart. He clenches his fist and unleashes hell. Manager Kim explodes in the rainy night. Every punch a defiant roar against an unjust world. Manager Kim finally snaps, sending his opponent to the floor with a vicious kick. The man in the white suit is utterly powerless against him. This is absolute domination. The blood and rain mix on his face, his eyes hollow with pain. But even so, he continues to step forward. His anger and his resolve have not wavered for an instant. He's caught in a painful submission hold, his face contorted in agony. But even at this disadvantage, there's more shock than fear in his eyes. He's thinking, looking for an opening to turn the tables. Hit me. The opponent has broken, literally begging for the pain to continue. And the savage look on Manager Kim's face seems to say, "Your wish is my command." With a guttural roar, the veins on his face bulge and his eyes glow like hellfire. At this moment, he has been completely consumed by rage and pain, transforming into a demon of vengeance. He furiously pulls out his phone, the screen filled with a long list of contacts. He's about to show every single one of them what happens when you mess with a father. Ministers, congressmen, deputy chiefs. His contact list is a who's who of powerful people. He's ready to call any one of them to pave the way for his revenge. Now that's what you call networking. Tears stream down his face as he clutches his phone. This small device connects him to his past life of power and influence, and right now, it holds all of his hope and all of his rage. The moment he hears the news over the walkie-talkie, he can't hold back the tears. That final panel of a bloodstain heavily implies he just received the worst possible news. A call from Ji-young Construction's legal team only makes his furious gaze even more intense. It looks like the enemy is trying to pressure him through corporate channels. From the shock of receiving the call to the cold smile on the other man's face, our boy seems to realize that behind all of this, there's a much larger, darker organization at play. Speak to the human resource management. The man with the goatee says it so casually, pointing our boy toward a place called Biko HRM. Yeah, that name doesn't exactly scream legitimate business. He collapses to his knees in the rain, crying his heart out. But it's not long before he's back on his feet, his eyes filled with a resolute fury. He's turning his grief into strength, his tears into bullets. Meanwhile, a man with glasses flashes a creepy smile in the rain, while an innocent girl looks on in absolute terror. It seems a new crisis is already unfolding. He draws a knife, lets out a roar, and throws a devastating punch. Every move is fueled by primal rage. The polite office worker has been completely replaced by the bloodthirsty beast within. Smack! A resounding blow delivered with incredible force. He announces his rage in the most direct way possible, and for a moment, it feels like the whole world stops. As his enemy gets smashed to pieces, Manager Kim just stands in the rain and calmly clenches his fist. His anger is cold, quiet, and deadly, far more terrifying than any scream.